Wow. Well, the first time that I started putting this project together, it was actually for an exhibition in my hometown of Markham, Ontario. So it was really nice to take the time to self-reflect on some of the ways that where I grew up had also inspired the work I made, and thinking about how we have these mediated relationships to nature. I grew up in the suburbs, so the sort of idyllic idea of Canadiana was nothing like my experience. Everything was really pre-prepared and very artificial, yet, kind of gave the illusion of having like natural spaces like parks. So when I started thinking about showing in my hometown, I started thinking about what my experience was like growing up. And I was really drawn to this idea of the treehouse as a quintessential childhood experience, yet none of us really have it anymore. Very few people. Of course, when I do these workshops, there's always like one or two people who are like, oh, I had this amazing tree house, and then everyone else just like looks at them jealous. So I wanted to think about why we still envision these things, and also there is this sort of artificial idea that this is something that we do as children, but it really is a way that we start planning and really thinking about making a space of our own. So quite often people had always made these plans or drawn them out or talked about them, but never actually had them. So I wanted this project to be a way for this to become realized, and to also create a forum where people can come together and talk about that shared experience of actually not having that experience, and why we still think of it as something that is really connected to this development of autonomy and wanting to have our own spaces, and to have quite often a relationship to nature in some way. So I first wanted to also do something where people could come together, people could contribute, and then also me, through making the work, kind of letting it come to life in some sort of realized form. But of course, because they're miniature, the final products, it's still not completely accessible. So once again, like referencing the idea that even though we can make the time to reflect on these and have the conversations of related ideas, such as why don't we have them? What are the priorities that are changing? It's still something that can't quite fully be accessed, even though it's finally had a home and a space and the room to talk about it.